welcome back to the channel. If you've been following along, this is video 4, so this is actually kind of the follow-up video of testing this 8.8 that I DIY'd here at the shop. I'd be lying to you if I told you I haven't put some miles on it. I got about 80 miles on it so far, and things have been going pretty well. As promised in the last video, I'm gonna take this thing for a cruise. I'm gonna answer a lot of the questions you guys have asked in the comments. And yeah, we'll just decide if this is something you'd wanna do for you and if it's worth it. Originally, I wanted to include you guys on the initial drive, but the last couple days we've had some gorgeous weather, and I just wanted to drive it and get it out. I didn't really want to worry about videoing, but now here's the perfect opportunity to do it. I will say the 80 miles I've driven this thing has been pretty decent. So my impressions of it, and this is from me owning these cars for the last 20 years, and as originally, as the cars came with, I had a 10 bolt with 410 gears that I pulled out of an S10, and that was back in like 2007, somewhere around there. And then I upgraded to building my own 8.8 with 10 bolt axle tubes, stock brackets stuck inside of a Lincoln Town Car rear end. I ran the 28 spline Mustang posi carrier and used the factory axles. A lot of people ask, can I use factory axles if I do it that way? I would say the answer is no. I did do it for a couple of years, but the problem is the button for the C-clip on it is about 100 thousandths too short on the factory axles for what the 8.8 carrier requires. And I don't think it'd be safe to weld on the button of that axle and have it hold up. So yes, people do that all the time. I don't really recommend it. If you were to use stock 10 bolt axle tubes, I would still order axles and have them made. Well, let's start from the beginning of a lot of your guys' questions are. So what did the rear end come out of? I don't exactly know for this whole series. And to be honest, I was at the salvage yard and there was a rear end laying on the ground in the F-150s. It measured right around 65 inches, 66, somewhere around there, and that's what I needed. So that's what I bought. From the research I've done, it was either out of a early 90s F-150 or a Ford E-150, an Econoline. This rear end was built out of 2 rear ends, actually. It was, the housing itself was out of the truck, I believe, and then the posi unit was out of a Ford Explorer rear end that I initially bought. The big thing was to make sure that it had the ABS sensor in the top, that it had the 3 bolt holes up on the side of the pinion that the torque arm mount could bolt to. So that brings to the next question. What's the torque arm mount? The torque arm mount is actually a Hilti torque arm mount that you can find on eBay. They're about 70 bucks, and that's what I use. They've been used for a lot of years. They've been super successful. I think even Hawks uses that mount, so that's what I've been going with. Next question. Can the stock drive shaft be used? In my experience so far, yes. On both 8.8s I've built, the stock drive shaft can be used, and even if you were to go with a 9-inch, the stock drive shaft can be used. If you're running a stock LS1 drive shaft, I have broke 2 of those. I would really suggest an aftermarket drive shaft or to stick with your steel LT1 drive shaft for now. And this one, I'm running a 1LE drive shaft. This car's a little different. It is a heads cam car with LT4 heads, but I've always had it on street tires, and I'm not really someone that beats on my stuff all the time. Let's see, where do I get the ends for it? So the ends on this rear end for the outside of the axles where they bolt to are 9-inch ends, and they are GM brake bolt pattern. You can buy those typically from Mosier. I think Strange has them, but that's where I got them, and they're for 3-inch or 3¼ inch tube. So I put them on there, a 3¼ inch tube. They butt welded right up next to it, so that worked out really well. Now, got some railroad tracks here. Got to go over. I'll tell you, since I centered the rear end in this and put the bump stops on, it rides so much better. That is one of the things I'll talk about, is it rides a lot better with this rear end in it. I don't necessarily think it's the rear end that's making the ride quality improved. I do think it's a big part of building that torque arm bracket that I did to get it to stop hitting the tunnel. That was a huge deal. Anyways, let's get with traffic here. Feels a lot different in this thing compared to the 10 bolt. But let's get back to it. The $1 million question that you all have been asking is about the brackets. Are they available? That's really not, that ball's not in my court anymore. My buddy Benjamin that's drawing them up, he's been working on it. He's been refining the design a little bit, making some improvements. And really, I think it's going to come down to getting a pre-order and ordering them. Because I will be honest with you, it is not very cost effective to order one set at a time from Cut Send. And the file is not going to be for sale, I'll tell you that right now. But order one set of brackets. Honestly, it's not much cheaper than what you could go to Midwest Chassis and buy a set of them for. And if you go, to give you an idea, you go to Midwest Chassis, a set of rear end brackets for an Fbody are $400. Racecraft used to make them, I think, for $375. I do think our brackets would be a little bit less. I'm not going to say that they're going to be like hundreds of dollars less. But anyways, they worked out really good for us. But let's talk about that on brackets. I think if you really wanted to shave a large cost off of building this rear end, if you had access to a plasma cutter and you cut the bracket off of the stock 10 bolt and spent some time with a sanding disc, you could open them up for the axle tube and utilize those, and that would save you, well, we'll just say roughly $400 right off the top. And that's a huge deal. What did the rear end cost me to build? Now you got to keep in mind, I had $250 in the rear ends. I bought $100 for that housing of the F-150. I paid $150 for the Explorer with the posi unit in it. I had $30 or $40 in stainless wire to weld it on. So we're just kind of going. The axles, I think, were right at $450. I had to get a couple seals. And let's top this off. I want to talk about how much of a budget this was. I actually reused all the bearings from the carrier, the pinion, everything. This has all used bearings in it, not a single new one. The only thing that was new in this was the pinion seal. So that being said, I mean, you can wrap up a couple $100 in bearings easy. So with me using all used stuff that I inspected, of course, I ended up with about $1,300 in this rear end doing it myself. If you figure the labor in, it's actually probably cheaper to go with a quick performance 9-inch. And I actually have one of those in the other cars. I've stated in the videos before. I really prefer the 8.8. It's quieter. It just seems to drive better. It's lighter. The pinion location being a little higher up makes it for a quieter gear operation. So my preference is an 8.8. The other reason why it's my preference is I like to build stuff. And it's pretty rewarding when I built this and it's working out great. So I guess the bottom line is it worth it? I guess that's relative in what your time means for you. I think that you could build one of these in 1 or 2 weekends. If you took your time measuring, getting everything cleaned off, welding it up, getting it installed, I think that you really could. Now that depends if you're going to put new bearings in stuff and set up all the gears. But for me personally, it was worth it. I mean, $1,300. Really, I think the cheapest 9-inch you can put together right now, even if you went with a spool, is probably around $2,300, somewhere around there. So you're still at $1,000 savings. If your 2 weekends to you is worth $1,000 and a decent posi and really great drivability, then I would say it's worth it. There's a couple other companies out there building 8.8s, and I'm sure they make a good product, but I can't justify what they're charging for them. Not when you can get a 9-inch for like what we just talked about. Well, hi there. And finally, I want to talk about the deciding factor for me to actually build an 8.8 for this thing. One is because I wanted to see if I could do it using a stock housing and not have to stick 10-bolt tubes inside something, even having to try to put new tubes in a rear end housing. It was really the fact that my 10-bolt needed rebuilt. I was going to have about $500 rebuilding that 10-bolt, and at this point, why throw $500 or $600 in something that's a ticking time bomb? So I just decided to go ahead and pull the trigger, try to build this 8.8. I was pretty confident it worked. I've been here before. Would you make up your mind if you want to be in the front seat or back seat? I will turn this thing around. No, I won't. So justification for me was really just the fact that it was spending an additional $700 or $800 to get a good rear end in this that I don't have to worry about. Final takeaway though, I'm pretty happy with it. And this thing is so quiet and it rides so much better that I'm not scared to drive this thing anywhere at this point. And with that cost of about $1,300, you have to remember I actually borrowed a alignment bar or a truing bar with the pucks from a friend. I'm not sure what those cost offhand. Obviously, I would try to find a hot rod shop that builds some rear ends or a stock car shop that builds some rear ends and see if you couldn't rent their setup and their puck setup to help do this. So from this point on, I'm kind of done talking about this project here, but if you comment below, I'll still answer your guys' questions. I do have another 8.8 that I've been kind of on the fence if I want to do a video series over. I pressed the axle tubes out of it, and I'm going to put new axle tubes in it. I'll put the updated brackets on that one as well, and it's going to be basically the same thing, except all new. Now the reason why I'm not really posting that on here is it's truly not a budget build. That thing's not taking all used stuff and slapping it together and trying to build something for under $1,500. But success, under $1,500, upgraded rear end. I can beat on this thing confidently now and not worry about, being stranded on a road trip. But thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you guys following along on this build. I really appreciate your patience the most because it did take me 9 months to finish this up. I've just had so much going on that it took a while. But yeah, comment below any other questions, or if you guys want to see that all new 8.8 build that I'm going to do for the other car. And as always, please like and subscribe and comment. That's a huge deal right now. Comment for me, guys. And I want to hear your thoughts, your opinions, your questions. That really helps motivate me to continue on. And I'll see you in the next video.